It all starts here for these CASCAR hard chargers. Once again, CASCAR Super Series Racing is on the streets in Toronto as part of the Toronto Molson Indy weekend. It's finesse and fast. Stay off the concrete, stay out of trouble. You might win the ATTO 100.
For the 7th year in a row, the CASCAR Super Series brings the thunder to Toronto's exhibition place. For 60 years, stock cars have rumbled through the city of Toronto. Now, a new generation of racer calls these streets home. This is round number 5 of the CASCAR Super Series from Exhibition Place in Toronto. It's the ATTO 100. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ron St. Clair alongside Billy Roche Jr. high on the perch above the front straightaway here at the Toronto Indy. And, of course, Todd Lewis will be covering the pits for us today. Well, it's our second and final road course event of the year, Billy. Mosport was first, and here at the Indy, what do we expect today?
Well, Toronto Molson Indy is the big guns. You know, this is home of CASCAR, basically speaking. It's the big race. It's Toronto. Everybody brings out their best piece. Best engines, best chassis. They throw all their money at it here at Molson Indy.
Well, 35 cars started. We're down to 33. We lost a couple during the practice sessions and qualifying. But I'll tell you what, some guys we don't normally get a chance to speak about have done really well here this weekend. Howie Scannell Jr. in the 0 car, the Hobby Chevrolet, the number 8 Carhartt Dodge of Mark Miller of the Holland, Michigan. Also the 20 GE Electric Chevrolet there of Mark Swain. These guys have really done well. And one guy who is brand new to CASCAR, some international flavor, if you will, driving car number 75 is Kenny Huboul out of Australia. But Billy, the guy really to watch who will roll 5th today is number 23, Jeff Lapsevich.
Well, as we spoke about before, Jeff has all the road racing experience, get used to these CASCARs, but he's won the last 2 Molson Indies. He'll be the guy to watch. He's starting a little bit further back than he likes. He was unhappy with his car in practice, but you know what? He'll get it to the front. And speaking of the front, John Ryan Fitzpatrick, 17 years old. Look at the lap he ripped off yesterday.
Unbelievable. Just missed the pole by 0.2 of a second. His dad, who drives car number 14 here today, said the kid's a natural on the road courses. We'll see how he fares. But he'll start alongside our pole sitter, DJ Kennington, in the Castro Dodge number 17. Pole time of 119.117, good for just over 128 kilometers an hour. And DJ's been around a long time. What can you say about this top guy?
Well, DJ started as a teenager racing with us here in CASCAR. He's turned into a polished veteran. You know, come here with a really well-prepared road course car, and look what happened. He took the road racers to school. He'll start in the front row today.
Yes, DJ grabs his 5th career pole. He's standing by right now trackside with Todd Lewis.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, it was an outstanding qualifying effort by DJ Kennington of the Castrol Dodge. And DJ managed to hold your breath for 1 lap around this place. Can you hold it for the entire afternoon?
I don't know, Todd. This Castrol Dodge is pretty good today. So hopefully we can just get out there and try to finish this race. There's a lot of good road racers back there. So hopefully we can hold our breath for almost an hour today, and we'll be there at the front at the end.
DJ Kennington will lead these CASCAR drivers into corner 1. Stand by for the ATTO 100 from Toronto.
Welcome back to Toronto in the CASCAR Super Series. The ATTO 100 at Exhibition Place is brought to you by Castrol GTX. Maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. By Mopar, authentic performance. And by Power Water, distilled, oxygenated water. Now here's the view from the ATTO Insurance Suite up in turn 1 here in Toronto. Let's have a look now at the ATTO starting grid for this 100-kilometer race today. Up front, as mentioned, DJ Kennington out of St. Thomas, Ontario in the Castro Dodge. He'll start there. Missed the track record, but still gets his 5th career pole. J.R. Fitzpatrick alongside him, the youngster. Don Thompson Jr. won at Mosport earlier this year, and Pete Gibbons his best of 3rd here in Toronto. 2-time defending winner Jeff Lapsevich rolls from the 5th spot. David Whitlock alongside him. Jimmy Lapsevich, a 125th start for him today, and Mark Swain in row 4. Brad Graham, defending sportsman winner in CASCAR, and Ron Beauchamp Jr. will roll from the 10th spot. Kerry Mix in the Power Water Taurus, and Mark Dilley, who won our last show from Barrie, in the next row. Row 7 is Howie Scannell Jr., local driver. Scott Steckley, always a top 10 performer. Mark Miller, the only American in the field, had a top 10 last year. Joe Gonzalez has visited the podium here in Toronto as well. Rookie Derek Lynch and Doug Brown start in the 9th row. In the 10th row, John Fitzpatrick and the veteran Dave Jacobs, his 102nd career start today. In row 11, last year's Rookie of the Year, Pete Shepard and Dave Conley from the Ottawa area. And from Australia, Kenny Huboul here now residing in Etobicoke. Ron Van Ness alongside him. Ryan Cathcart and Stu Robinson Jr. occupy the 13th row. Back into row 14, Sean Stafford and rookie Tara McLeod, top rookie in the CASCAR Series this year. In row 15, Kenny Forth and John Susmaris from Toronto in the 41 machine. And at the back, Scotty Watkins and Mark Graham. Lane Vindelli unable to get his number 63 machine in the field. So Billy Rouse, 32 cars ready to roll here in Toronto.
Well, we'll take a look at the Logos Auto Parts race analysis. Ron, 32 cars, as you said, 2.8 kilometers, 10 turns, very tight road course here. She's 36 laps or 100 kilometers, and a very warm day here in Exhibition Place.
And we have the race covered for you with some great onboard shots here today as we look at this field. Here's the ATTO Dodge of Pete Shepard, last year's Rookie of the Year. Watch this youngster. Remember, he went to school in the off-season, so we'll see how he does. The Australian driver in his rookie voyage here, Kenny Haboul. And an onboard camera here with Mark Miller out of Holland, Michigan. Boy, he had a great run last year, finishing 9th. Well, Todd Lewis, any thoughts on how this one might unfold?
Ron, just before we go green, a lot of talk about the start of this race. Of course, you'll remember in years gone by, there's been carnage in corner number 1. DJ Kennington, Don Thompson Jr., and J.R. Fitzpatrick all had a little chat about the start. They're going to race clean for a while, let each other go. Then at the end of this race, may the best man win.
Starter Sean Gibbs wants them all up on the front straightaway before he'll flash the green. And here we go in Toronto. CASCAR underway.
DJ Kennington out in front. Mixie down 3 wide. Ronnie heading for turn 1. He's got to get it anchored down and get back in line.
Gets that 0-2 in there, tucked in nicely on the bottom side of that first turn. Pulling second, third gear through here. A little contact coming through this corner. And up onto Lakeshore Boulevard, they'll hit almost 150 miles an hour here at the top end. And it's DJ Kennington leading the field.
Side by side back in the field. This is the fastest part of the racetrack as they make the curve heading for that real tight turn in the backstretch. They got to get single file and get the brake zone.
1 of 7 right-hand turns here today. 4 to the left. Donnie Thompson's already picked off a spot. Getting by his teammate J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's up to second already on the charge.
Well, look at these guys side by side through the tightest turn there is. Ron, that's the exciting thing about bringing a bunch of old racers to a road course. We don't know what braking zones and passing zones are. You give us a couple feet, we'll stick that baby on in there.
Well, this is one of the more traditional passing areas right here as they work down towards turn number 8. It'll be under braking. We might see some moves here in this spot today.
Well, Ron, the other thing to keep in mind is the Champ cars ran their race right before the CASCAR race, and there's a lot of rubber down. There'll be some rubber outside the groove, so these guys are going to have to stay in the road racing groove for a while.
Jeff Lapsevich, 2-time winner, pulling a couple of gears as he works back up onto the front straightaway. These cars under the radar gun today, 110 miles an hour down under the starter stand. DJ Kennington trying to hold off Don Thompson Jr. into turn 1, and he'll do it. Dodge and Chevrolet leading the field.
Watch this down the backstretch, Ronnie. Thompson should get into the slipstream of DJ Kennington and then break out at the end of Lakeshore and blast by him in the brake zone. Let's see if it happens.
Little opening here for Thompson, but DJ will drive hard up into turn number 3. He's been quick all weekend, though, right off the trailer. Billy, fastest in practice, obviously coming off the pole here. Finished second back a couple of years ago. He's had 3 or 4 top 5s at the Indy. Maybe today is his day.
Well, Ron, the top Dodge here today, DJ Kennington, no stranger to victory lane. He has one at Mosport Road Course.
Whoa, speaking of Dodges, Ron Beauchamp Jr. here in the Mopar Dodge. He's off the pace on Lakeshore Boulevard. Motor's still running, but looks like he has no power to the rear end. Todd, any idea down there?
That's Ron Beauchamp Sr. talking to Ron Jr. on the radio. He's reporting that the clutch is gone. He's trying to limp it back here to pit lane, Ron. And if Chris Kubion and the team can get it together, they'll get Ron back out to try and pick up some points. This is another frustrating run for the Mopar Parts Dodge Charger.
Well, there he is limping it back. He's trying to get it to pit road so the boys can have a look at it. The clutch, the most important thing other than the transmission on a road course, that's for sure.
Well, he had a 4th last year. Of course, won the Mopar 250 at Delaware to start this season. Entered the day 6 in national points. But he is out of contention right now as they work back down across the line to put another lap on the board. Beauchamp will go down 1. Here very shortly. He's still sitting out on Lakeshore Boulevard. Hasn't moved, and the field's powering up towards him right now. Still DJ Kennington out front. Don Thompson Jr. running second. Local yellow out in this area right now. And it wouldn't surprise me with him dead in the water like that, Billy. We'll see a full course caution coming out here shortly.
Yeah, that's kind of a blind corner right there. The preferred line is down the bottom. Like you see a car jumping out of line there. He's going to have to get back in line. He misses Beauchamp on the way through, but very dangerous spot to have a race car sitting.
Yeah, we're getting word there will be a full course caution coming out here shortly as DJ continues to work around. Followed by Thompson. Then J.R. Fitzpatrick. We see the 23 now, Jeff Lapsevich, up in the 4th spot here. He's a 2-time winner. Started 5th in this race. He's only picked up the 1 spot as Pete Gibbons has dropped back in that Canadian Tire #1 Chevrolet. And the yellow caution is coming off the starter stand. A full course caution here at the Indy in Toronto because of that machine right there, Ron Beauchamp Jr.'s Dodge, with a clutch problem.
Pretty lonely feeling sitting out there in the backstretch all by yourself in a hot race car that will not move when you're 6th in the points here in the CASCAR Super Series.
Tough deal Ron Beauchamp has done. We're under caution here in Toronto. Back with more in a moment. Welcome back to the ATTO 100 CASCAR Super Series show here in Toronto for our restart. DJ Kennington still up front in the Castro Dodge. Single file formation as they work off at the final turn 11 and up to green again.
Down into turn 1, all that muscle horsepower. No mufflers on these CASCARs this weekend. They are loud and proud here in Toronto.
Well, 540 horsepower across the board. 3 wide into turn 1. That's Joe Gonzalez in there in the 93 car. New paint scheme for him. Looking pretty splashy, I might add, there in that GPS Automotive Refinishes Chevrolet.
Down the backstretch, single file. Nobody stepping out of line. They're back in the field. They're taking a look around. Awful racy all the way back through the field here in Toronto.
Jeff Lapsevich to the inside of J.R. Fitzpatrick. And the 23 MC, a Transport Chevrolet, will move through.
Down the backstretch, side by side. Oh, Stu Robinson in the fence all by himself on the backstretch.
Yeah, that's Snap-on Tools #3 machine. We'll back see if we can get a look. There it is, that 3 Dodge, and Sean Stafford has been involved as well in the Walker Transport Chevrolet.
Well, down that backstretch in excess of 140 miles an hour when a wreck happens in front of you, very narrow street course, Sean Stafford probably had no place to go.
Second incident for him this weekend. He got caught up in a practice session yesterday. And that's a local caution over there. We continue under green for now. Let's see, though, if they're going to bring out the full course caution. Looks like it's out. DJ has slowed up. Yes, it is off the starter stand now as they work onto the Molson Bridge here at turn 11. And for the second time in the early going of the ATTO 100, we're under yellow here in Toronto for this.
Wow, that's extensive damage to the Team 3 car. That's DJ Kennington's old road course car. It was an awesome piece, but she's tore up today.
Tough deal there, and there you see Sean Stafford coming in. Dave Dodaro and his crew will have to go to work. They've got 2 cars here. Mark Swain qualified 8th in his #20 machine. This one's banged up good.
Well, all this damage on these 2 race cars, Ron. The other hazard comes from fiberglass pieces on the backstretch, pieces of metal, rivets, and debris could cause flat tires. These guys are tiptoeing through this wrecked area, trying not to hit any of those pieces.
Yeah, let's hope they get it all mopped up. Imagine hitting something at 150.
Well, it's a bad stretch of the racetrack. You can see inside the car, a lot of damage. Suspension, front bumpers, sway bars, everything's tore up as Dodaro looks underneath to see what the... Oh, there's some damage.
Didn't look like the clip was bent, though, that 42 car. Didn't think. This one might be, though. It was hit hard.
A lot of damage on that 3 car. We're on board with Pete Shepard Jr. He's heading for pit road.
All right, so he started 21st. He's in the pits. Let's go down to Todd Lewis to cover the action.
Pete Shepard in the ATTO Charger making the stop along pit road. They are going to change all 4 tires on the ATTO machine. They know they have one going down for sure because they ran through so much debris. The team doesn't want to take any chances. They're going to change all 4.
Slow going here in Toronto, a very fast circuit, but 2 cautions here in the early going of the ATTO 100. Try to get this ATTO Dodge back into contention. It's the Castro Dodge, a DJ Kennington leading on the streets of Toronto. We'll be back after this. You're watching round 5 of the CASCAR Super Series here in Toronto. DJ Kennington in the Castro Dodge Charger out front. Under caution here for the second time today. So they work around in behind the pace car. Kenny Graham behind the wheel of that pace car. And look at this, Billy.
DJ Kennington to pit road. He must have a flat tire like we talked about earlier, Ron.
Wow, and they're going green, too. Big hurt. Don Thompson Jr., the Home Hardware Chevrolet, gets a huge jump on the 23 of Lapsevich as we resume green flag action.
Yeah. Oh, this is wild, Ron. What a turn of events. DJ's led this whole race. Now he's on pit road as we go back to green.
All right, we'll send Todd down there, get a report. Meantime, check out this action in turn 1. Some good battles going on here inside the top 10. On here with Mark Miller out of Holland, Michigan in his Dodge up Lakeshore Boulevard. Todd?
A horrible break for DJ Kennington, the Castrol Dodge. Flat left rear tire, debris caught him up again. Just as soon as they go back to green, he's forced to make a pit stop, Ron.
Wow. And I'm guessing that's probably from that incident up on Lakeshore Boulevard, Billy.
Oh, and Mixie dives through in the bottom, get past Peter Gibbons and Dave Whitlock down the backstretch in Lakeshore.
Well, Whitlock's had a pretty good run of success here in Toronto. Last year, a top 10 finish in that 39. As we're on board now with Australian driver Kenny Habul.
Well, that's a pretty good look. That's a Peter Gibbons prepared Monte Carlo.
Boy, he was pulling some pretty good RPMs, too. He was really revving it there.
Well, Peter Gibbons horsepower. Remember that, Ron? We called him Mr. Horsepower all last year, but some of these other guys have caught up in that department.
Yeah, there he is in the #1 Canadian Tire Chevrolet. He's had a lot of victories in his CASCAR career, but never here in Toronto. Same with Don Thompson Jr., who's leading right now. Of course, he won the road course event earlier this year in Mosport. Has never won in Toronto, a second last year. And what can you say about that 84 driver, J.R. Fitzpatrick, running third today. Had that third in Mosport as well. The kid's just 17.
Well, 17 years old and surrounded by the Tim Hortons Lapsevich brothers.
Hey, one guy in the move, Kerry Mix, going by right there in the 02 Power Water Taurus. Started 11th in the field, charging hard. He's up to 5th already. Get a look at him mid-screen. Now out the back here at Pete Gibbons in his Monte Carlo.
A real good look out the back as Gibbons was using the draft but couldn't jump out of line. Has to stay following Kerry Mix as they fight for 4th.
Right down into second gear here through turn 3. Saw Pete Gibbons just sashay around that corner a little bit there. Now the inside track trivia question for you today. Which drivers have a perfect winning percentage in CASCAR?
Oh my, I got a shot at some of that road course warriors, I'm suspecting.
Well, there's another one right there, another pass by Kerry Mix. Goes by the 84, so he's up to 4th. He'll be hard pressed, though, to set the hard charging record today. That's 36 spots, and you'll remember this one. 3 years ago, Kevin Dowler back to front from 37th to the win.
Oh, Dowler definitely had his race car dialed in on that day, Ron, that's for sure.
To see him in a couple of races out west. Now Pete Gibbons diving under the 84 car up in the front straightaway, trying to get by JR. There's Mixie again in the 02, already with a win this year. That was in Montreal, and Gibbons did get by the 84. He's going down, and here comes the 19 of Brad Graham, the Challenger Motor Freight Logos Auto Part Dodge. He picks up the spot.
Oh, Brad Graham, what can you say about this young fella? Every time we come to a road course up to now, he's had a converted oval car. This is an ex-Turner car, and he's doing really well in the road courses this year.
Quite a gaggle of cars here on Lakeshore Boulevard as they gear down into turn 3. Now we've got movement here. Mark Dilley in the red car there. That's the Power Water Dodge Charger. To the inside of the 20 of Mark Swain. He'll grab the spot. And so the winner from our last show on the tight confines of Barrie picks up a position.
Well, Mark Swain, give a tip of the hat to him as well, running a short schedule this year, but really making a good accounting of himself here today at Toronto Indy.
Don Thompson Jr., look at this lead. He's checking out here on the 23 of Lapsevich. And the 25 of Jim Lapsevich has moved up to 3rd as well. So he's up 4 positions from the start of the race.
Well, a good showing for the Lapsevich brothers here in Toronto, but Mixie and Gibbons are coming hard.
Well, you got to like that, though. Jeff in 2nd, Jim in 3rd. Remember a couple of years ago, Jimmy Lapsevich had that great run and just overcooked it going into one of those turns, lost the lead, ended up 4th, I believe, that day.
Well, that was right here in turn 1, drove it right out through the Princess Gates.
Still lots of time to go, though. 24 circuits of the streets here in Toronto.
Geez, Dilley's still looking hungry, looking inside. Oh, Whitlock locks up the brakes. Dilley dives inside, teammates side by side.
Great racing through turn 1 and 2 and back up onto Lakeshore Boulevard again.
Well, that tightens things up there. Here comes the 20 of Swain. He's getting in on the fight now as well. Dilley drops down the inside, bringing Swain with him. Will he get a look? No!
Exciting stuff here in Toronto. The 84 car is in on pit road with Todd Lewis.
J.R. Fitzpatrick along pit road, the Cambridge rigging Chevrolet flat right rear tire. That's what had J.R. going backwards, and now along the pit road.
There's Dave Jacobs in the 88 car. He made a move at the top end of Lakeshore Boulevard as well. That Lou's Barbecue Taurus. Only 4 Fords in the field here today, and he's trying to move to the front. Kerry Mix, the top Ford right now, running in the top 5.
Well, Brad Graham in that 19 Challenger freight car up to 6th position, Ron.
On board with Kenny Abul, started 23rd. Sweet, he's charging. Boy, I'll tell you what, he's learning in a real hurry how to massage these 2,850-pound cars.
Well, CASCARs are real difficult to adapt to, but you got to remember, he's in a Peter Gibbons car, and I think they know how to win.
Brad Graham here in the 19, running 6 in the field right now, so he's making his move to the front. Lots of good hard racing here up on the front straightaway.
Oh, Whitlock again, too much rear brake. Whit, being the veteran that he is, should have learned the first time that car had too much rear brake in it and dialed a little bit out, but there he goes around backwards in turn 1.
Yeah, and how many spots did he lose right there? Looks like about 8 anyway. Dave Jacobs getting a little sideways. Get our first look at the number 10 Napa machine of Doug Brown. Now a great battle down Lakeshore Boulevard. That's the 22 Herb Group Pontiac of Scott Steckley, who just zipped by. Here he is in the red car, trying to make a move on the inside and can't quite get in on the inside of the Latta Crane Chevrolet of John Fitzpatrick.
Just in front of him, Howie Scannell Jr. having a whale of a run here in Toronto.
Yeah, really impressed with him. Billy qualified 13th. There he is right there, that Hobby sponsored machine. Had a good run here last year as well. Just runs the limited schedule in CASCAR. There's that 75 again.
Yeah, there he is all over that place, learning to slide these cars around, down through the gears. Here we are watching upshift. There we are, hard on the brakes. Good move.
That battle there, Steckley and Fitzpatrick. Yeah, you can really see they're having problems now. Different compound down on the track here after the Champ Car race in here earlier today. So the drivers expected turn 1 and 3 specifically to be real sticky today, or slippery, I should say, is what they expected.
Good racing down the front stretch, 3 wide. Habul down the inside of all 3 of them. Herb Group car turns in, little contact. Habul gets the spot. Oh, and Dave Jacobs goes around.
Wow, local caution there in turn 1. Jacobs will get the Lou's barbecue machine spun around. No problems to the front grill of Lou's barbecue.
No pun intended, I'm sure.
And there he goes. Wow, love to see him get a win here. He's due. 102 starts here today, still searching for that first win.
Steckley awful close to the back of that 75 car getting in the corner. We may show him just, and Habul gets in too hard and spins around.
You jinxed him.
Yeah.
Oh, twice right there.
Oh, he can't find reverse, Ron. He can't find reverse. It's in there someplace.
Do they have that in Formula 3?
Sequential gearboxes, them open wheel cars.
Don Thompson Jr., the Home Hardware Chevrolet, leading here on the streets of Toronto. The CASCAR Series returns in a moment. Back in Toronto, Ron St. Clair, Billy Rose Jr., Todd Lewis, and event number 5 of the CASCAR Super Series. Great battle here for second. 2 Lapsevich brothers and Jimmy with the spot in car number 25.
Oh, little brother Love there pulling Mixie along as well as they race side by side. That allowed Gibbons and Mix to close up tight.
Well, on board here with Jeff Lapsevich, watching his brother pull away while trying to hold off the 02 of Mix. They've changed everything on the 02 car here from yesterday to today. There you see him in the fray right now, the black car in the middle, making a move. Down in turn 3 to the inside, and he'll snag another spot up to 3rd. But they had driveline problems after the Mosport road course. They had brake problems yesterday. They changed things around, Billy, on the bias. They put more front brake in, and now he's going to the front.
Well, he's doing a real good job. Kerry Mix has got a brand new Mike McCall chassis underneath him, and he's really liking it. As we see DJ on pit road again, as Lamont puts right front tire on that car this time.
Yeah, second time in for this team. Their 119th consecutive start. The new Iron Man, or Iron Kid in this case. Get that car down and away. And here's the battle for second. It's a 4-way shootout here for second. Mix holding off, and he'll move up into second, trying to hold him off.
Well, the 25 and Jimmy Lapsevich heading for pit road. Jimmy's got a problem in that 25 Tim Hortons Monte Carlo.
Gave up the battle, and Kerry Mix will move into sole possession of second place, so he's a +9 on the day. Gibbons now having a look. And here's the 25 car all the way to the top of pit road, and he is going to lose a bunch of spots if they can stay out there.
Well, he'll be bringing that car to the attention of Billy Knowles, the crew chief. Hopefully they'll get it back out into the race.
Lapsevich is running 2 and 3 in this one for a while, but now Jim Lapsevich along pit road, the crew going underneath the car. He may have a problem with it sticking in gear. You can see the right front tire has been white-walled up against the concrete. Jim Lapsevich frustrated inside that car.
Oh, you get a good look at Billy Knowles. They're using the hammer trying to knock that car back into gear. What happens is the levers get stuck as you're going from gear to gear and locks them in 2 gears, and you got to knock them out.
Meantime, the 4-car Don Thompson Jr. has now opened up a 7.6-second lead over the 02 of Kerry Mix. There's the battle for third, the 23 of Jeff Lapsevich and the 1 of Pete Gibbons. And then way back there behind the 1 car is the 19 of Brad Graham. Now a challenge by Gibbons to the inside here off of turn number 9. Through 10 and 11 and up onto the front straightaway again. Gibbons looks like he has that 23 car covered here.
Well, Ron, as I said at the top of the show, these guys bring their best piece. He's a road racer, so I suspect he's got a mechanical problem or maybe even a tire going down from that debris on the backstretch earlier on.
Well, there's a lot of debris out there, a lot of races prior to this one from the Molson Indy weekend here in Toronto. Gibbons trying to get a good jump off at turn number 2 up Lakeshore Boulevard. Looks like he'll get him.
Side by side, a pair of Chevrolets through the kink down the backstretch into the braking zone. The noses will drop. Gibbons is in the preferred line. He'll force Lapsevich wide and take the spot.
Well, it looks like that streak of 5 straight road course wins for the number 23 of Jeff Lapsevich could come to an end here today as he continues to fade a little bit. Of course, he's a 2-time winner of this event, won in Vancouver last year, the final race there, and Mossport as well, but fading as I mentioned here. Now the NMT race summary. 2 cautions here in the early going for 4 laps, 2 leaders. Pole sitter DJ Kennington early, Don Thompson Jr. right through to now, and the fastest lap belongs to Jeff Lapsevich. Stands to win that $1,500 cash bonus from Goodyear Gatorback belts and hoses.
There's a good look at that Logos Auto Parts number 19 Dodge. He's running 5th. As I said, this is his first real road course car. He's a great driver, and he's showing it today.
Couple of Chargers charging back up onto the front straightaway here on the streets of Toronto. Brad Graham, Mark Dilley. Good runs further back in the pack. Ron Van Ness in the Star Van System Chevrolet number 11 has a good run going today. Derek Lynch in the 77. 99 Scotty Watkins in a new Simpatico sponsored machine. 94 Mark Graham out of Kingston. After he wrecked in Mossport, he's still on circuit here. And the 82 car also having a pretty good run here today out of the Ottawa area, Dave Conley.
On board with Don Thompson Jr. He's got to have that thing on cruise control by now.
Well, Todd Lewis is with his crew chief.
With Sandy Hamilton, crew chief for Don Thompson Jr. He seems to be checking out. The front row had problems with flat tires. Don isn't having any problems, it looks like.
No, we hope we don't have any tire trouble. We're just trying to stay out of debris. He's running a way faster lap time right now than the second place car, so hopefully he can keep it up front. It's up to him now.
Big smile on the face of Sandy Hamilton and the rest of the home hardware team. We're back with more of the ATTO 100 after this.
Don Thompson Jr.'s lead here in this CASCAR Super Series event shrinking a little bit. It was over 7 seconds. There's the second place car, Kerry Mix, now within 6 seconds of the lead.
Well, Kerry cut into the lead, but I think Donnie Thompson's only going as fast as he needs to go right now.
Thompson, Mix, Gibbons, and the 23 at Jeff Lapsevich. Here's the battle for 5th. 19 Brad Graham, 9 Mark Dilley, DJ Kennington in the 17 is a lap car after coming off the pole. But back running again in contention, at least for some valuable points.
Well, DJ be pretty disappointed. He was really confident going in today how well that car was going to work. Dave Jacobs inside Dave Whitlock for position number 17.
Just inside the top 20. Both have been involved in some spins. There's Kenny Hamul again, the 75 car, working up towards ATTO corner. Of course, John ATTO in attendance, taking in the show here today. 32 started Billy, still over 20 on the lead lap here in Toronto.
Well, this is the big show, as I said. Everybody brings their best pieces, tries to put on their best show here in Toronto. On board with Kenny Hamul down the backstretch, shifts gears, turning a lot of RPMs in that Gibbons power plant.
All right, here's a great battle now. The 19 of Graham is caught up to the 23 of Lapsevich. He'll get him under braking here at the top end of the front straightaway, and he'll probably bring Dilley through, or will he?
Well, they got him offline. Dilley down the bottom. We'll see what happens with that Dodge horsepower down the backstretch. Lapsevich is struggling with either a mechanical problem or he's just taken and burnt the tires off that Monte Carlo.
Started 5th. Still hanging around in and around 5th or 6th. 15 to go here. It's a 36-lap race, and DJ Kennington looks like he's got that car working again, but again, he is a lap down here to the leaders.
All this racing for position here is Scott Steckley is coming hard as we go to pit road with Joe Gonzalez.
That's Joe Gonzalez along pit road. Again, a green flag stop. Crew underneath the car. Yes, looks like he's having the problem as well. Stuck in gear.
Well, pretty quick change anyway. They look like they got that fixed. Now Brad Graham has moved up into the number 4 spot here in the Logo Auto Parts Challenger Charger.
Well, I keep telling you, this is his first time in a real road course car, and he's enjoying it.
Down into turn 1, a great battle right in behind him. Mark Dilley in the 9, 23 laps of it. 22 Steckley now up to 7th spot, the Earth Group Pontiac. Here's the second red car right there going by. Good run again. He'll hang around the top 10. Now our CASCAR trivia question again. Which drivers have a perfect winning percentage? Well, 2 of them. Scott Maxwell, one in Mosport, and the other winner, Matt Kenseth at Cayuga.
Yeah, Scotty Maxwell drove a Whitlock prepared machine that day with the STP colors on it. And of course, Matt Kenseth, the Canada Day celebration at Cayuga Speedway in DeWalt livery.
Well, they won every race they entered, just the one. Here's the race for 8th right now. The 0 up front there is Howie Scannell Jr. on board with Mark Miller in the Carhartt Dodge. And look at problems with in the windshield here for him. Those braces have broken off.
Well, he's got in the back of somebody and moved everything back. Those window braces flopping will just disturb your concentration, and it's really important here at Molson Indy to concentrate on hitting your marks and shifting and braking at the right spot. Miller is working his tail off.
Also in this little threesome here, the number 20 of Mark Swain, the GE Nighthawk sponsored machine. Now back towards the front again, the battle for 6 between the 22 and the 23, and Steckley will take it.
Well, DJ Kennington opened the door on lap switch there and drove back through. DJ just running for his life right now, trying to get back to the front, gain as many points as he can in this race.
Under braking, top end of Lakeshore Boulevard. Nothing that time. Local caution here, though. Way over in turn 8. Don Thompson Jr. gets by the spun-out car, number 11. That's Ron Van Ness, Starvan System Chevrolet. Thompson's lead, though, shrinking a little bit as Kerry Mix in the 02 continues to try to reel him in here. Nice clean run all day, though, for Don Thompson, trying for his first ever win here in Toronto.
Well, Don Thompson Jr. got a piece of debris on that front grill opening. Shouldn't be a problem, even though it is over 30 degrees here in Toronto today.
Now, Jeff Lapsevich on pit road. We thought he might have had a tire going down several laps ago, but boy, if he did, it stayed up for quite a few laps.
Well, if it's a really slow leak, it just disturbs the car. Finally, it got to the point where he's just losing too many spots, and he had to come to pit road.
One of 16 Chevrolets that took the green here today. 10 Dodges, 4 Ford, 2 Pontiacs in the field. 5 national champions, and Todd Lewis.
The problems continue for Jeff Lapsevich. He was reporting the car very loose. Maybe the reason was a flat right rear tire. Crew making a green flag stop.
Just not his day today. It looks like the streak of 5 will end. Here's another race going on. 75, Kenny Habul again. This is for 12. Don Thompson Jr. And there's the 71 of Brian Cathcart in the fray.
On board with young Pete Shepard. He's just getting through the day. Not really a road course fan, even though he's been to school. Oh, Steckley under braking. Too much rear brake. Spins the car into the outside wall.
What a great run he had going here. He was inching towards the top 5 and just inches it out of the way here, too. Almost got collected up there with the 0 in the 8 car.
Well, he's only lost a couple spots. It was a real gentle tap. We go on board and replay. He's inside Graham. Too much rear brake. He's got it locked up. He's going to spin it backwards the other way. Little tap. Loses a couple spots.
Actually, as you see there in that Mopar replay, really didn't do a whole lot of damage to the car.
More his ego than the car.
Look at this. Mix has closed the battle now for first by several seconds. 3 car lengths off the lead as he works down through turn 3.
Well, watch this now. Pair of horsepower veterans going at it here. Mixie's got that Ford underneath the hood. When we get to the backstretch next time, he's in the draft. He'll be able to close right up on Thompson.
Back to Toronto in a moment. 7 laps to go here in Toronto in the CASCAR Super Series, and Kerry Mix in the Power Water Ford Taurus has caught Don Thompson Jr., and they're racing for the lead up to the line.
Thompson extremely loose off the corner down the front stretch. Mixie under brakes. He's right tight on him, heading for the corner. Don Thompson turns in late. Mixie's right there in the bumper. We're heading for the backstretch.
Big time pressure for that all-wrapped 02 car.
I'll tell you what, Thompson, he's burnt the tires off that car. He's really loose off the corner. He's pointing them to the outside. We're in the draft down the backstretch, both in high gear. Here we go, down into the braking zone, mixing to the bottom under brakes.
That's an all-decal car, the only one in CASCAR. There is no paint on that car at all, and he'll scoot through for the lead. So next time by the line, we could have our third leader of the ATTO 100 here in the streets of Toronto.
Look at Mixie drive away. Instantly puts 2 to 3 car lengths on Don Thompson. Thompson's fighting a loose car, as I say.
Well, I wonder, you have to wonder if he maybe burnt the tires up in the early going. He had such a big lead, and of course, early in the first 7 laps, he was trying to track down DJ Kennington.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mixie's driving away on Don Thompson Jr.
And that great view there of the CN Tower as they work towards 8, now through 9, and then 10.
Next time we get a picture of Donnie Thompson, I just caught him on the way by there. He's got his left hand out the window, driving one hand like it's a Sunday drive. He's already given up the lead. Donnie's relaxed in that number 4 Monte Carlo.
Power Water Taurus to the line, and he is the new leader officially with 6 to go here. Pete Gibbons still running 3rd. Dilly's 4th. Graham 5th. Howie Scannell Jr. up to 6th from a 13th starting spot. There's your 3rd place car, the Canadian Tire Chevrolet of Pete Gibbons.
Gibbons is way back there in 3rd position all by himself. No pressure from behind. He can run the wheels off that baby. His spotter's got to be telling him Thompson's out of tires, and he's got to go get him.
Well, remember, the number 1 car and the O2 were involved in an incident in Mosport right here. High-speed incident off turn number 8 up the Mario Andretti straightaway, and this wrecked the O2 car at Kerry Mix, but they're back with this machine. All repaired, looking good, and he's out front.
Oh, yeah, Mixie's got to love that sight. Drivers love that picture out the window with nothing in front of them.
Well, Kerry Mix won in Montreal. Oh, look at this. Here's Mark Graham from Kingston. That 94 machine looped around here. See if he can get that straight around. Kerry Mix going for his 2nd win here in the 05 season. Let's have a look in the Mopar replay.
Oh boy, looks like the CASCAR disease today. Too much rear brake going in the corner, and around they go.
Well, it is a little contagious. Hey, John Samaras out of Toronto. John owns a Brant House Bar, which hosted a great CASCAR Molson Indy party here in Toronto. We're always appreciative of those get-togethers. A little bit of debris up there on the front straightaway, but out of the main race group. And look at this, you were right. Gibbons has closed on that man there, Don Thompson, for 2nd. So it's Mix, Thompson, and Gibbons right now. Todd Lewis standing by with Gibbons crew chief Dave Hernan.
Dave Hernan, Pete Gibbons has never had much luck at this track. Can he get 2nd place?
I think we can do it. According to the times there, we're a little bit faster than the leader even. I think we're going to get 2nd. I don't think we can catch Kerry at this point.
Laps are winding down. We'll see if Peter Gibbons can go up one more step on the podium.
Just 2 laps to go here in Toronto, the 7th annual CASCAR race on the streets of Toronto, and only 3 drivers have put their name on this one. Robin Buck twice, Kevin Dowler twice, and Jeff Lapsevich twice.
Well, there's Peter Gibbons, got the bit in his mouth. He's going to get around Donnie Thompson down the front stretch. Can't get the job done. He flies to the inside, hard under braking. Will Thompson let him in? No!
This is the battle for 2nd, in behind Kerry Mix, who's trying to add his name to the prestigious list of winners. Battle for 14th further back in the pack. It's father-son right there. John Fitzpatrick leading young JR around the circuit.
Oh, bragging rights at the supper table tonight. Up for grabs here.
JR, only a 17th start, already has 5 top 10s. Now, one of the Dodge teams we haven't talked too much about here today, this guy right here, number 77, Derek Lynch. Boy, he has moved up a bunch here. He's already up to 9th, having a great run. He had a good one at Mosport as well in the BermsRS.com Charger.
Well, Derek might be a rookie here in CASCAR, but he's drove all kinds of different cars all over Canada and U.S., and that's a Mike McCall prepared car, so you know the car's good.
Yeah, ran a Busch race at Watkins Glen as well. And there is talk of Busch maybe coming to Canada here in a couple of years. Now the battle for 2nd again. Thompson waves Gibbons by.
Oh, you can tell Donnie Thompson's way off the throttle. That car is definitely out of tires.
So it's Kerry Mix, Pete Gibbons, Don Thompson Jr. occupying the top 3 right now. Mark Dilly right there in 4th. Does he have enough to catch up here with 1 to go, this time by the starter stand? There's the white flag for race leader Kerry Mix in the Power Water Taurus. And here comes 2nd and 3rd.
Kerry Mix is the happiest guy in town. That car was completely torn apart. Mike McCall had looked the thing over, said it wasn't bent, put all new control arms and suspension in it, and here's the kid leading the race in Toronto.
Well, Don Thompson Jr. is not totally safe just yet. Just had a look there at the 82 of Conley being passed. Driving the Maple Leaf Top Dog Vector-sponsored Chevrolet, and behind the leader just got lapped here.
Also want to tip of the hat to Conley and his crew. The President's Choice Children's Charity last night at Formula Cartways. We raised $10,000. Thanks, Dave.
Good stuff. It'll be a big payday for that man if he can hang on for another half a lap. Kerry Mix looking for career win, number 16 now, Mark Dilley, right here in the Power Water Dodge Charger. He's sitting fourth, trying desperately to catch up to Don Thompson Jr. on this final lap. Thompson out of tires, remember. So it could come right down to the wire for him. But from his 11th starting spot, Kerry Mix will charge to the front, and he will win the ATTO 100 here in Toronto. A big win. Could be the biggest of his career for the original Ironman. Battle for second. It'll be Pete Gibbons. Here's the race for third, though. Dilly do the outside, but Thompson will hang on for third.
Well, there's a very happy crew, Ron. Those guys worked long, hard hours to fix that race car after Mossport.
Yeah, they certainly did. They changed everything to get the win here today. Todd Lewis is in the winner's pit.
Celebrations underway already here at pit lane, Ron. Razor, another victory for Kerry Mix. Boy, did he ever do a great job to reel in the leaders and then move ahead.
Man, I can't say enough about this whole Power Water Ford Taurus team. These guys worked unbelievable all weekend. You know, we had problems in practice and qualifying. We just worked on the car and worked on it, and we found it little thing by little thing. We got the car so we could drive it. It was unbelievable.
All right, go celebrate. We'll be back to hear from the winner of the ATTO 100 after this.
Kerry Mix wheeled it home for his 16th career win here in the ATTO 100 in Toronto. The week-long festivities here in Toronto concluded with the ATTO 100 CASCAR race. DJ Kennington led the charge. 31 others followed. Beauchamp's day ended early, followed by Robinson's miscue, which left Stafford torn apart. On the restart, leader Kennington's dream ended early, and so did his front row foe, J.R. Fitzpatrick. Don Thompson Jr. took charge while the Lapsevich brothers chased. When the smoke cleared, Team Fastline streak in Toronto ended in frustration. Our Aussie mate, Kenny Aboul, raced hard along with guys like Cathcart, Watkins, Swain, and young Pete Shepard. No time for sleep here because Mix was on the warpath, letting everyone know that he wanted the lead. The little but mighty man from Mount Albert, Ontario, took Toronto by storm, and the ATTO 100 was his. A happy camper indeed. Donuts here on the front straightaway for Kerry Mix.
Well, Kerry doesn't have to answer to a car owner. He owns all that car. He's using her up here to show his delight. 175
starts, 2 wins this year, a second and a pole. Not a bad start to the CASCAR season so far. And the Power Water team is in winner's circle here. Now he's just parked up against the front wall, burning the Goodyears right down to nothing.
Awful hard on equipment, but that car does not need to race anymore this year. He'll put her away till next year.
Yeah, it's all ovals after this. My question is, how the heck's he breathe in there?
No mosquitoes in downtown Toronto.
Well, he's a plus 10 on the day. Plus 11 goes to Kenny Aboul, and also Brian Cathcart is our hard charger. So let's have a look now at the top 10 from the ATTO 100 here on the streets of Toronto. Mix, Gibbons, Thompson, Dilley, Brad Graham 5th, Howie Scannell Jr. terrific run. Same with Mark Miller. Scott Stegley recovers for 8th. Top rookie Derek Lynch, and Doug Brown rounds out the top 10. Now down to Todd in the NMT winner's circle.
Kerry, Susan wanted this victory for a Christmas present. Well, you delivered. You've been runner-up on these road courses a few times, but now you got to win.
Yeah, we got a new car here, and I got to thank McCall Racing and all the sponsors, obviously Power Water, Apex, and Digital Imaging. And hey, we've been wanting this one for a long time, and we finally got it. You know, it's a good day for everybody.
Kerry Mix, winner of the ATTO 100 here in Toronto.
Joins Robin Buck, Kevin Dollar, and Jeff Lapsevich as winners of this prestigious Canadian race. All right, now here's 11th through 20th. Swain, Aboul, see Pete Shepard in there 16th. David Whitlock 3rd in points, finishes 18th. Now back to the pits and our second place driver.
Peter Gibbons, I'm sure you have some bad memories of this Toronto Molson Indy track. This one's pretty good, though.
Yeah, the Canadian Tire team really worked hard over the winter and, gave us a different package. We went to Mosport and set a new track record, and we knew we had a good car and come here, and, we just kind of paced ourselves, and, we ended up second.
Works out well for Peter Gibbons, a podium finish.
Yes, it does. Big points. Let's have a look here at the Castro standings through 5 of 12 events. Don Thompson Jr. increasing his lead now to 49. Mix up to third. Gibbons in fourth. Big hit for Ron Beauchamp Jr. from 6th down to 9th in the Castro standings.
Well, there we are. John ATTO on the podium to hand out the hardware. No doubt the best race of the weekend, the ATTO 100.
Yeah, I think so as well. And now what's left here for the 2005 season? 7 oval races. This ATTO 100 has been brought to you by Mopar, authentic performance. By Castro Syntec, outperforms all leading motor oils. By Logos Auto Parts, home of the 1-year parts and labor warranty. And by CarQuest, proudly serving a world in motion.
So there we are, the spraying of the champagne here in the streets of Toronto.
Calgary's next, followed by a first ever stop to Sun Valley Motor Speedway in Vernon, British Columbia. Kerry Mix, the winner here today in Toronto in the Power Water Tours. For Billy Rouse Jr., all of the James Robinson staff, including Todd Lewis trackside, I'm Ron St. Clair. Thanks for watching.